All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Melanated Council. Right over on my workout mats. We stream every Tuesday night. We try to get close to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We like to show up a little late, to really get the party started. I'm kidding. Usually we're better with time, but today was just one of those Tuesdays. You know how it is. And as always, like, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Yeah. Once again, apologize for being late. It's kind of a rough Tuesday for all of us. Not rough in a bad way, just rough in a busy way. So don't worry about that. Um, yeah, like I was gone pretty much all day. Had to go to work, and then after work, I usually go see my therapist on Tuesdays, my mental therapist, because I also see a physical therapist because I am all sorts of broken. No. Um, and hey, hey, Mish. Hey, it's always great to see you. It's always great to see you. Um, but yeah, and then after I had I just had to run some errands, like pick up some groceries because I know that tomorrow is going to be a busy day for me. So I was like, okay, let me just fit it into like this little window of time that I have. Hey, Chad, welcome back. I hope you had a fantastic vacation. You were surely missed. Or is it sorely missed? I don't know. You were missed a whole bunch. Um, as you can see, I have, actually something in my background. I have a bookshelf now. So this bookshelf was in my living room. I don't know if any of y'all remember it from previous streams when when we used to stream and I was in my living room. You may have seen it. It's not that important. But yeah, over the weekend, my boyfriend and I moved it into here. And so because where it was in the living room, it wasn't really doing it any justice, but I couldn't move it here because A, it's heavy, and B, my mom was here for a while, so I was like, you know what? I look like the Power Girl. Power Girl? I know, like I've heard that Power Girl. Let me look her up real quick. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, she has that little cleavage window. Hey, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I mean, Mish is the best dressed on Twitch. That has been confirmed. It is known. It is the truth, and we are sticking by it. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, we usually talk about our weekends before we really get into the topic. As you can see, our topic is about the elections, 2024 elections specifically, and like the people who are running, like Robert F. Kennedy, sadly, possibly my governor. I think he's going to announce soon, Governor DeSantis of Florida. He's probably going to announce his run soon, probably later this week or something like that. DeSantis announces tomorrow. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of he's trying to create all like these laws and that have been kind of chilling in the Supreme Court for right now of course, we have a conservative Supreme Court, so they're more than likely going to get passed, and they're just very controversial laws. Uh, and so he's going to try and bring that all to the United States, even though like nobody wants that. And then Trump, who's most likely going to be the Republican presidential nominee. He's at least kicking DeSantis's butt right now in the polls, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So we're going to get into that, and also, of course, remember to register to vote. I was going to say sign up to vote. It's like, y'all, I am exhausted. Anyway, register to vote and pay attention to politics. Pay attention to what's going on, especially in your area, especially your neighborhood, because where it matters the most, especially your state. And don't vote for DeSantis. Trust me. Like, I understand that he's popular in my state because of pretty much just Republicans. I don't really know anybody who doesn't like him. I mean, I don't know anyone who isn't a Republican who likes him. Like an independent or anything. I don't know of any. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Hello, all. Nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's the bookshelf. The bookshelf is definitely helping me with my audio quality, my production audio quality. But yes, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that the mic, I've had it, connected to this audio interface for, like a couple of months now. But I'm glad that it's sounding even better, or it's just sounding great right now. That's awesome. Because sometimes, I plug it in, but I forget to actually, I guess, set it as my audio, as like my speaker or microphone rather on here. Sometimes I forget to do that because it doesn't automatically do that. It's really annoying. Ooh. Yeah, me too. I would love something buttery. But yeah, thanks. Thanks for the compliment on my bookshelf. Funny enough, I'm not really a fan of this particular bookshelf. Like, I do want a new bookshelf. Like, I plan on, designing this second bedroom a little bit better. I don't want it I want it to be more of like functional than cool looking, if that makes sense. Because there's a lot of people who, like have like their podcast studios and things like that, and they have like these really cool, awesome backgrounds. But this desk that I'm speaking to you on, I also use it for like my full time job when I work from home. I like I have family. I don't really want to just have a bunch of cool things, and then when they want to stay over, it's like, oh, you can sleep on the couch, Like, so I want either like a nice futon or like a nice pull-out couch of some kind, or they have like these cool things called a Murphy cabinet bed. Like the Murphy bed where you like attach it to the wall and then you pull it down, it's like a whole bed. Well, they have Murphy cabinet beds where it looks like a cabinet, like just like a normal piece of furniture. You can put things on top of it, like a TV or whatever, or picture frames, what have you. But it folds out into a bed, and they look really nice, but they're so expensive. They're like damn near $2,000. But I would love one. My next issue with DeSantis is I never hear him convey any real plans. I'm sick of personalities and want someone with an actual playbook. I know. Same. He doesn't yeah, it's weird how politicians don't really do things anymore, especially more so on the right. Like, it's just all about culture war. They want to Do you think Bernie Sanders will run? Hold Bernie over a 45-year-old. Oh, same here. I hope he doesn't run, but because we do need like younger people. We definitely need younger people in office. Like it sucks. It's like it's absolutely ridiculous. And I can't believe DeSantis is 45. He looks terrible for 45. Wow, I thought he was at least like 53 or something. Yeah. Yeah, no, Gil's background is awesome. His background setup is absolutely it's nice. Um and I've seen it in person too. Like it's really cool. Like it's really nice. Like when he had the studio. I know that he has his own his own podcast set up like at home, which is looks similar to the one in the studio that he had. And like yeah, but yeah, it's very nice. And like the time he put into it is is admirable for sure. Yeah, and I don't know, old people. I think it's also just a lot of people who don't quite live in the state, but they own homes in the state, and so they can kind of vote in the state, you know. So they're like, "No, we want low taxes," or and it's like, "No, we don't want." It's like we don't want things to change, even though we're going to constantly complain about how things don't change. I'm fine with Bernie supporting Biden. It's the thing is like being like like a senator, especially like on that level, like it's so much more important than president, I think. But I understand what the presidency can do, how much it can rile up people to vote and really get involved and engaged. I just wish politicians, especially when they have like such a huge following, instead of running for president themselves, they should like try to mentor and teach people like what to like how to run for president, how to run for an office and why, and things like that. So I could be wrong. I'm not like so in the political circles that I know. Like I sometimes see Florida Young Democrats meetings, and I keep forgetting to go, or I just don't have time to go, which is unfortunate. I should make the time to go and see what is going on, especially like within my own county, but I don't. I do learn a lot though, but nothing really about running for office. I wish there was just like an easy playbook, and if like people could really just get behind people, but it's hard, and it's money and it's time consuming, but it's worth it for sure. Should let your background grow over time and let the audience get excited each time. So I like that, Rocky. I agree. Like I do want to eventually incorporate video into my personal podcast, the Agreeable Gray Area podcast. But it's I know that's just going to take more time, but like I do like that idea though. I really do like the idea of just like little things popping up outside of for corpses. Yeah, yeah, like Dianne Feinstein. She's 89. I thought she was 93. Not that that makes it any better. It was just it's just insane, like, just how old she is, and then people just keep re-electing her. It makes no sense. Like, who is voting? Or, like or just why aren't people voting? I know a lot of people are still registered as independent or maybe Republican. They wanna vote for a Democrat or something, or I don't know, but it's like it's insane. Or if like the opposing team is voting in like these old people because they know that that the Republican is going to lose or something, so they're just keeping old people on to fuck with us, which is kind of a genius move. It was a big disappointment for me just because I feel like he would have gotten more done if he'd been willing to sink the ship. Every time DNC called his bluff, he caved. Uh, no, we'll see. Oh, it's only like 35 minutes. All right. It's factionalism. If she doesn't step down, someone from a different Dem faction would have to primary. Yeah. Mm. But yeah, no, Chad, I see you sometimes. I won't say going off, but sometimes you tweet people who are saying, I don't know, kind of some whack shit on Twitter sometimes, and I love it. I am so here for it. Einstein makes my blood boil because the reason she's hanging on isn't even a good one, and it has. Yeah, and she's from your state, right, Rocky? I think she's from California. Like, I couldn't believe that either. Like, that was another surprising thing. Because I know that Kamala Harris was a senator. Um, but was she like a state senator or like a? I don't know. Like, I know there's like the state senators, and then there's like the senators for the whole country. I can't remember, like, federal senator. I don't know. I don't know what the terminology is. I know there's like the House, the people in the House for they're like the state House and things like that, and then there's the ones at like the federal level. I don't know. I could be wrong though. But yeah, but that's insane. That's because like she's been a senator since I can't even remember how long Feinstein's been a senator. I forgot if it was like 2000 or like in the 90s or something. No, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was since Clinton. I think she got in 92 with Clinton. So she's just been a senator for that long. Like it's insane. True. Yeah, I did hear about that she was a mayor before then. Yeah, like I don't know. No, she's one of our two on the federal. Yeah, yeah, that's just like that's insane. Like I can't. Like people were just like I don't know. I guess people don't primary. I guess people like. I guess people don't vote in the primaries. That like y'all, that is the main election is the primaries. People think like the general is like yeah, of course you still have to vote in the general, but like you got to vote in the primaries. You got to make sure if your state is an open or closed primary state. Mine is a closed primary state. Um, I remember I went to like a local Democrat meeting like in my city, and they announced that there's going to be a thing on the on the on the on the thing. Sorry. Say the doc is. I don't know if the doc is the correct term. I don't know. My brain is shot, y'all. I apologize. But there was going to be a thing that you can vote on to make Florida open primary state, and I was excited because we have a ton of independents in this state. We have a lot, and they are so like disengaged with voting because when they go and vote in primaries or anything, they're just like voting for like judges and things like that, and you don't really see any commercials or any ads or anything about the judges. And also, you can vote on like local policies and like bills and things like that. But like a lot of independents don't really vote because they can't vote for like the people that they're probably hearing their friends and family talk about it on the social medias or anything because they're registered as independent, and they just never bother to change it to Democrat or Republican because I'm sure like they swear up and down that they're going to really get involved next time and they're going to change it in time before then. And I'm kidding, but not really, because I understand how people are. Primary is spending money to not defeat Republicans. What do you mean primary is spending money to not defeat Republicans? Her squad is crazy powerful here, though. At some levels, have such a lock in California that Indians don't even run, which they also use as an excuse to not try. Ooh, I hear that. I hear that. Is there a Republican Party, at least like a strong one in California, Rocky? Like, do you at least see them campaigning or trying to make waves in California at all? Because I know that for the 2020 election, there were people who were swearing up and down that Trump was going to win California, and like he very much so did not. Or was the election a lot closer than we care to think? Because DeSantis winning again in 2022, it wasn't that surprising because usually incumbents win anyway. And I don't know why the Dems were trying to push Charlie Crist. It made absolutely no sense to me. Nikki Fried would have been a more formidable opponent, in my opinion, because she was already a statewide elected Democrat because she was the she was in charge of like I forgot what the position's called, but like agriculture, she was elected for that, and she's a Democrat. She ran on the Democratic ticket and won. So and she was the only statewide elected Democrat. So she campaigned correctly. And then the Dems of Florida decided to push Charlie Crist, who was already a governor of Florida like years ago. I think he was a Republican back then. I think he only lasted one term, if I'm not mistaken. But it was just weird. Like Nikki Fried just became one of the heads of the Democratic Party of Florida, which I think is fantastic for her because that is such a great, that's such a great thing for her to do because she does still have a following. Like I follow her a lot, like on Twitter. The rest old M's and some Leroy James. If someone you spend resources on looking state and national strategy, you have to consider if it's worth it. I get that. It's a gamble. It's a gamble, Chad, for sure. But it's a gamble that we have to make. It's weird how I don't know, it's a gamble we have to make. It's like we're betting on a horse and we don't really have a choice but to bet on a horse. And if you don't bet at all, then you're still going to lose money. You just you might as well make that bet, for the best. And that's just my opinion. When it comes to voting, or when it comes to primarying, when it comes to donating, it really is just trying to make a bet. You're betting on the candidate that you think is going to win. You're betting on the horse that you think is going to win. I'm sure millionaires and billionaires are, voting for, the Republicans who are usually going to give them a huge tax cut because they're putting money and they're going to get the most money out of it. We have to win a certain amount or how risky do you bet? That's true. I don't bet that risky. You're right. But if I were a betting woman, if I really, studied the horses and, went down to the races and saw them, I would bet slowly, maybe put in like $20 here and there, see who comes out, see who wins, see what their strategy is, what they've been doing, and then vote on bet on I start betting higher and higher once I'm sure I'm going to start winning more and more and understanding essentially the nature of the game. Like the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Oh, really? He represents an area called Bakersfield, kind of farmish. It's the second most conservative part of the state. Gotcha, gotcha. No, I had no idea. Huh. That is very interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah. But yeah, no, it is terrifying. It is terrifying. Cause how old will Biden be turning this year? I think he's turning 80, right? So if he's gonna retire after if he wins, do you think he's gonna win 2024? I think he will. Sweet. I think I think he's gonna win 2024. Because usually incumbents win, and he is pretty popular. It sucks that he lost the House though, because usually that's like a sign that he might lose. But because Republicans not gentrified, I mean that too, but like redlined the fuck out of a lot of states, including mine. Like, I still think it's wild that DeSantis literally just drew the maps and cut out a a very predominant black area of the state, and so like I guess he created some more seats, which makes sense because a lot of people moved to Florida, so that's why we had more seats. Because I think New York lost 2 and Florida gained 2 or something like that. And if I win $20, I'm gone. That's a good gamble. That's a good gambler. That's smart. So I don't know. I just thought that was like completely wild that he just straight up did that. And I was like, yeah, that should be illegal, right? The governor shouldn't just be creating, the district maps. And like that makes no sense. It was just wild, and then it just happened, and everybody was. But that's what happens when you have total power. Like no one's gonna say no to you except Disney, because Disney's way more powerful than DeSantis. He's really low right now, but love to get in their own way. Yeah, it's interesting. Like this dynamic is very interesting because he's clearly trying to get Trump's base, but Trump has already been president. That's a hard thing to beat. Trump was, he's a lot more of a showman, whereas DeSantis is more of a politician. He's already been president. No fucking clue how that goes. Exactly. So Trump has already been president. Trump is more of a showman. Trump has the ability to kind of say anything and get away with it, whereas DeSantis kind of doesn't. Like DeSantis is, like Florida's probably going to pass like the 6-week heartbeats bill. I put heartbeat in quotations. I'll tell you in a second. Like this, the Senate. I mean, not the Senate. The Supreme Court is probably going to pass that soon or be okay with that, which is absolutely tragic. But and it's not really popular. Like it's weird because Republicans saw how poorly implementing anti-abortion laws is going. Like Wisconsin, I want to say, voted in a Democratic judge or like a Supreme Court justice, I think. One of those. Voted, up, and like that was kind of insane. but in terms of personality, right, right. Like he doesn't have like the showmanship that Trump has. Like Kansas kept their state laws. Um, Montana, I believe, kept their state law. Like is not trying to make abortion uh more illegal, if I'm not mistaken. To make a more southern reference. Oh god, he's unsweetened. Like he's poorly made sweet tea, not enough sugar. um, I don't know, like pretty much a lot of like cities and states, well, states aren't really like passing these like anti-abortion laws when they're given the chance. Like they're trying to put a better abortion bill on the on the docket in Florida as we speak. Um, I can't remember if they just did the 15-week shit again. Like they definitely should just bump it back to 24 because even with 15 weeks, there's still issues. Of course, like there's going to be issues regardless. Like pregnancy isn't just like a low risk chill state to be in. It's it's a high risk. Um, of course, not always, but it's yeah. I mean, kind of yeah, yeah. Because a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. So it shouldn't really be up to the government to be like, oh, there's a heartbeat, therefore we can't do anything. The reason why I put the heartbeat again in quotations is because it's not like a heart that like we have with like the four, like ventricles and four valves and everything. It's cardiac activity. It's like, okay, in 6 weeks there's like we got like some kind of activity going of some kind. But I don't know, like what I find odd is that just because, you know, the embryo or the fetus has a heartbeat or cardiac activity doesn't mean that that's all it needs to live. Like as human beings, as we all know, you still need lungs, a brain, intestines, stomach, liver, uh, like we need all these organs. So it's really sad like hearing and I try to retweet as many as I can when they come up on my news feed of women who were forced to deliver a baby at like full term, like 37, 38 weeks, that they knew was going to die back when they were at 19 weeks. It's like, oh, the baby's probably going to live for like anywhere between like 3 minutes and 2 days. It's like we all like the doctor knew this, but because the baby had a heartbeat, it's like, yeah, the baby has a heartbeat, but doesn't have a brain, or the baby has a heartbeat, but doesn't have lungs. But we can't do anything because the baby has a heartbeat. Like it's just it's just sad. So it's like, and then the woman has to carry this baby to term. So like she's essentially just carrying a corpse or a very soon to be corpse. And people, she still has to go grocery shopping, still has to go about her day, her life. And people are coming up to her saying like, oh my goodness, how far along are you? When's the baby due? It's like, oh my goodness, is it a boy, is it a girl? It's like, this is so exciting because this is what happens when people get pregnant. People come up to them and they say these things, and then I like that's just torture. That's just torture to have to deal with that for months. Like I can't. Like I literally went to the grocery store today. Like I couldn't fathom like people just coming up to me and saying these things knowing that I am forced by the government to carry like a a fetus that is not going to survive. Like it's absolutely disgusting. It's so meaningless. Like that kind of pain and that kind of trauma is just it's so meaningless. But like not like it's so unnecessary. I mean, because 2 years ago that wasn't the case. Like a woman would like a woman or a couple or whatever would find out that they're pregnant. Later on, they find out that something happened, and then they have to um, sadly abort the fetus because the fetus is it was going to die anyway. Um, and but at least it's like okay, you could get it done. At least you had that you can make the decision. It's like okay, should I wait or in case something amazing happens, like a miracle happens, or should I do this procedure now? And at least it was up to, her or the family. But no, not anymore. At least in some states, some women in some states are just more free than others. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it just doesn't make any sense. But that's what happens. Hey, Gil. No, sir. You are right on time. 10 p.m. on the dot. Perfect. Now we can get this party started. Yeah. Actually, you're not late. We were late. We were just having a really um busy Tuesday. Um so yeah, but hopefully Toby will be on. I don't know, he said 36 minutes. I don't know how long ago he said that. When did he say that? Like 20 something minutes ago. Yeah, so I guess Toby will be coming on in maybe like 15 minutes or so. Ron should be coming on. He actually had to work today, so he kind of came late. But yeah, we're talking about elections. Um, very sad stuff regarding you know the state of affairs in Florida. Hey, Chad! I'm so glad you listened. Yeah. I'm actually working on the blog website for Agreeable Gray Area because I guess I need to. So this is gonna be kind of sad and embarrassing, but like my Amazon affiliate links for whatever reason just kind of stopped working, and I must have did it wrong. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna create a blog and just try to get people to buy stuff from the blog. If y'all can help me out, I'd greatly appreciate that. I'd be like, yo, what are you planning on buying anyway? Just buy it off of my blog. I'll even give y'all back the money that I make, which will probably be like 30 cents. But hey, at least a little bit of money goes to me and not more to Amazon. God. Recently via IG. Hey, no, that's good. All right, thank you. Like you can't click my affiliate links now because I guess I don't have that anymore. But once I re-sign up and get my blog started, then it should work. So I tried setting it up, and I think I kind of made a mistake. Technically, if you go to agreeablegrayarea.com, it should work. It's not finished yet at all, so there's like a lot of lorem ipsum. But yeah, there's like a couple of things I gotta like fix in terms of the domain name. For whatever reason, www.agreeablegrayarea.com does not work. But if you get rid of the www, which is the subdomain, agreeablegrayarea.com should work. In fact, I guess I could probably put it in the chat. Why not? It's gonna be kind of sad. It's a sad website. A lot of Lorem Ipsum copy, but we're here for it. We are here for it. Also gonna put up a form so you can like put in your email address. I'll set that up later. It shouldn't be hard. I'm using HubSpot. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with that CMS. It's kind of competes with WordPress, but I just like HubSpot more. Because like with HubSpot, you can like MailChimp and other places, they give you like you could do like 1,000, I think, email signups, and afterwards like they start having to charge you. I think HubSpot, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 1,000,000. Like it's something insane. You get like a million free signups, and then they start charging you. That's because HubSpot is for like massive companies, not for like a little blog, like a little podcast thing. I do like MailChimp though. Like I do, but I was just like, I've already had a HubSpot account for my app. So, which I gotta, yeah, I only have the HubSpot account for just the email for the mailing for the form for the sign up. I don't use HubSpot for anything else with my app site. I'll share that probably in the Discord. I haven't updated that website in like 2 years. It's bad. Yeah, I gotta update that. I actually started kind of working on my app over the weekend, which was nice. Haven't really worked on that in a long time. I won't lie, like it's weird. It's weird being in the state of Florida sometimes because you just have to sit here and just focus on yourself and work on like your own stuff, but it's like so hard to because so much shit is going on, but like you can't do anything except wait until an election. Like it's just wild. Like it's just weird. Yeah. And I've been doing that. I'm really trying to like really just tackle that. Just focusing on me because there's only so much you can do, It just sucks feeling so powerless, but I guess, I just got to make myself more powerful. So that's always a perk. That's always a plus. Oh yeah, y'all haven't told me what y'all did over the weekend. You guys can always share. I know that Chad went to California, which is exciting. Chad, did you like California more than Pennsylvania? What's funny is like I'm like Philly is definitely somewhere that I would probably move to. It's somewhere I've been thinking about for years, for quite a long time. It was anywhere between Philly or Atlanta, but like how the politics are in Georgia, I'm not really sure. At least Philly is moving in a better direction, and it's still kind of a swing state. So I know that my vote would go more than like Georgia. Well, Georgia kinda. I mean, Georgia can, but I don't know. I'll have to like really visit Atlanta, which I've been meaning to for like a long ass time. Still think Philly's the best city, but I'm all about that weather. Oh, in California, the weather. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I don't know. I'd be lying if I said that. The weather in Florida is not keeping me here. I mean, I won't like. Don't get me wrong. Like it's been hot as shit. Like these past couple of weeks, and it's just gonna get even hotter. and like right now it's raining because it's so hot, but it's like I can't like it, but I don't know if when I say I can't, like I don't know if I can deal with the snow. I mean, I've only experienced snow once in my entire life, and that was like earlier this year. And it was like and I liked it, but I know that's like I got like what they consider like the good kind of snow where it's pretty much just like rain. Like it doesn't like stay on the ground and it doesn't pile up and it's not like you have to like shovel it out just to get to your car just and then I don't know how the hell people drive to work in the snow. That just sounds insane to me. Like if I were to move to Philly, I think I would probably just work from home. You know, if I had a like I'd probably just like work from home and just try to make a life there. Yeah, no, the humidity is disgusting. Like I'm getting so tired of it. But I hear that California has like Mediterranean weather. So like it's hot, but it's not humid. And I don't know how I feel about that because because Tallahassee is very dry. Like it's very hot and very dry there, especially in the summer. Yeah, that's true. I guess I am inserting Florida. Yeah. Don't live in the burbs. No, I don't wanna live in the burbs. Like, I'm not I don't mind living in the suburbs, but I don't wanna be too far from, like, the city and things like that. I don't wanna be too far from things to do. So, depending on how far, like, the suburbs are, like, if I could just, like, ride a bike or, you know, if, like, the bus is quick or something, or if, like, the subway, if it's easy, then I wouldn't mind. But mm-mm. Like I am so tired of just like living I'm tired of living somewhere that's close to things, but it's hard to get to because of cars. that like the grocery store, for example, is literally like 1 mile away, which is nothing. And I don't see like we have bike lanes, but they're just like the painted bike gutter kind of crap. You occasionally see people riding their bikes on there, like probably once a week. You may catch a person, and it's very exciting. Honestly, like you just never see that. But I don't know, like I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that like at all. Like it's still scary. I would love to, bike. I mean, I still need to get a bike. I really got to put money aside to really invest in a decent one. I do every once in a while. I It's like if they had the infrastructure for better cycling, if they had it maybe like raised up to the same level as the sidewalk, if they like essentially just extended the sidewalk out, but they just had it like bike lanes, and if it went in either direction, north, south, east, west, or whatever, I would I would I would definitely more so highly consider, you know, getting a bike and doing that. Exactly, the road is bad and people are horrible drivers. Right. Yeah, like, I just think it's wild how they just have speed limits that are like 45 miles and no one's going 45, everybody's going 60, and they just have, like, these bike lanes that are just painted. It's okay, so Amsterdam. I don't know. Amsterdam sounds cool. I would love to visit there, but I don't know. One of the things I do like about Philly is the black population. Like I would know I could at least go get my hair done somewhere, or probably find get like some Caribbean food of something like that. And also, it's not far from DC. It's like what is it, like an hour drive about? Like, it's not far from DC, it's not far from New York City really either. I don't know which one's closer. Is New York City closer? I don't know. Y'all know better than me. But okay, it's 2 hours, which isn't bad. Like, if I were to drive 2 hours north right now, I would still be an hour south of Orlando. So and I'll still be in the state of Florida. So it's like, if I were to drive 2 hours south, where would I be? I'd be in one of the Keys. I don't know which Keys, but yeah, no, still in Florida. If I drive 2 hours if I were to drive 2 hours west, I would have to keep going until I hit civilization. No, if I drove 2 hours west, I'd be in Naples. Yeah, I'd probably just be in Naples because I think Naples is about an hour and a half. Yeah, it's gonna be Florida, but then again, not Florida. Yeah, it'll be. If I drive 2 hours north, no, I'd be out of Palm Beach County. I'd probably be like in Indian River County. Was it Martin? I think that's Martin County. I'll just be in like some nothing county where they I don't know what the heck they do. Like, I'd be past Port St. Lucie. Yeah, Florida's a big melting pot. Like, I do like Florida. Like, I'm always gonna love Florida. Like the weather, it's like it rains for like 15 to 30 minutes. Like, it's raining right now, but it's probably gonna stop by the time, Toby joins. Someplace where there ain't no coffee shop. Right, yeah. Or if it is, it's like a Starbucks. It's hard to count Starbucks as a coffee shop. Like, I know, like, legally it is, but it just doesn't feel like it. The thing I hate about Florida is that it's just filled with chains, like chain restaurant, chain places, and I feel like it's gonna get even worse because like, so many people move down here and people with money too. And so, like, the property tax goes up, especially like in commercial places as well, places that are zoned for commercial use. And the only people who can afford these commercial use spaces is like Starbucks and gas stations and like car dealerships and McDonald's, and Cheesecake Factory. Like, it's never anything that's new or unique or different. It's just like the same staple stuff. I understand that there's a time and a place for, staples. Like, don't get me wrong, but you don't really just want the same stuff. Like, I understand, like, there's the joke of like, oh, there's always a Starbucks right around the corner from another Starbucks. It's the same thing with Publix down here. There's always like a Publix right around the corner from another Publix. Like, there's never really anything unique here, really. Yeah, but Publix is in different states. Publix is in Georgia. There's like one in North Carolina. There's some in South Carolina. I'm sure there's some in Alabama. But yeah, I guess Florida did originate here in Florida. I mean, Hooters originated in Florida as well. But I don't know. There's nothing really to claim. It's still a chain. Um, yeah. No, but you're right. There isn't really anything that's, I don't know, cool. Like, you go to DC, there's like this really cool coffee shop, bookstore, restaurant type thing called Busboys and Poets. And it's like, I want to say it's black owned. I believe so. I think it's black owned because like they have all these like books by like black authors, like black, queer, indigenous, like Hispanic, like, just authors. It was so cool. It was so cool to go into a bookstore like that. When I went to DC and visited my sister because she was in town there, it was just so eye-opening because I've just never seen that. I never thought that this was something that I was missing. It's like, because when you don't know what you don't know. I've gone into bookstores before, of course. I've gone into Barnes& and Noble. I've gone into Borders when it was around. I've gone into Books A Million when they were around. I've gone into Books and Books, which is a staple in Miami. Uh, I've never gone into a bookstore that was like, just had books of made by black people and people of color and like indigenous folks and queer LGBTQ folks and non-binary folks, trans folks. It was so like I don't know, like it was just so eye-opening. It was just so like I just didn't know that that was something that I needed. And my sister was saying how she would love to like create something like that in Boston. I was like, oh, I definitely see why. Like I would love something like that in Florida, in South Florida. But I don't know. The state likes to ban books, so to just be like, hey, I like to open up a bookstore that, you know, just specializes in selling books for black people. I don't think it's really gonna sell. I mean, it would. I'm sure it would do well. The South is interesting like that. But I know it'll just be controversial for no fucking reason for no friggin' reason. I'm trying to curse less. But when things frustrate me, they frustrate me. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Mm. But yeah. No. The thing I like about Philly though is what they've really been doing with like their infrastructure, and it's because like they've been electing the right kinds of people, and they've been electing like young people from what I've been hearing. And so the city is moving in the right direction. But yeah, I don't know about that weather because I have been thinking a lot about just like moving because I've always wanted to live outside of the state. Maybe, oh, the politics isn't. Well, yeah, I mean the politics can't ever be perfect, but they can be better. Like they're still better than they were before. Like I think Philly was just voted like like or like second best cycling city or second or best biking cycling city. The infrastructure in DC is great. Like it was like very easy to like walk everywhere in DC. Like it's very nice. Like I didn't like yeah, like it was nice. I wouldn't mind living in DC either, but that is just expensive. That is that is just expensive. Ideally, I would love to live somewhere that had like a beach and mountains. Maybe like Jamaica or something, or like Costa Rica. California technically does have that, but I don't know, California is just really expensive. Oh, okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. You think the DC Metro is better? I took the Metro. I liked it personally, but everybody always complains about the Metro. Oh, so if the Metro is better than what Philly has, then that might be. I don't know because it's different to live there. I was only in DC for like 3 4 days. When I went to Philly, I was only in Philly for like a day, like a couple of hours. Um, that was a lot of fun too, from what I remember. Like I just It's just nice being able to walk places. Like, can I walk to, places down here? Yeah, technically, but it's clearly not designed for that, you know? Like, yeah, it is. It's just sad. But yeah, we have all of America. You have all of America. You mean Mall of America? We have all of America. I am all of. But how is your beach though? Because I went to what's it called? The Cape in Massachusetts. And we went to like this little beach. It was so it was so bizarre. First of all, it was the summer and the ocean was cold. That made no sense. I guess I've just been spoiled from being in South Florida my whole life. That went like the beach, like the ocean isn't like hot, but it's kind of and it can be a little like cold, but like you're in the water for like 10 seconds and then you get adjusted because the water is just the ocean's just warm enough down there. Oh, America in miniature, mini America. Hey, all right. Um, yeah. So yeah, when I went to the beach in the Cape, it was just kind of like I couldn't believe just how cold the water was. And it was the middle of summer. I was like, what in the hell? And I was like trying to think like what kind of ocean is this? It's the Atlantic Ocean. It's the same ocean. It's the same ocean I go to the beach in. So what the heck is going on? And like y'all have like the high tide and the low tide, which is crazy as well. Like we do down here as well, but barely. Like the tide is relatively the same. Like maybe at certain parts of the day it might be like a little bit further out, or other times it might be a little bit closer, but not really. Yeah, it's the ocean. I don't know. Like y'all's beach is like the Cape's beach was so weird. Like there wasn't any like stores or restaurants nearby. It was just there were like some houses. Like, so people could just come, they park or they park kind of far, walk to the beach, and then that's it. You don't like go to the beach and then like you don't go to a restaurant and then go to the beach afterwards. Like I had a date like that once. Like that's how you enjoy the beach. You can't just go to the beach and then that's your whole trip. I don't know. I couldn't imagine having to drive hours to the beach. Like you really have to make it a beach day and you really got to plan it too. Like that's weird. That just sounds like camping. Like I could be ready for the beach in like 5 minutes. Like I already have like my beach chairs wrapped up ready to go, have the sling, got like the cooler, put in like some, on the way there, grab some beers, put on a swimsuit, clothes, sunscreen out. I couldn't imagine being like, "Oh, where am I? Like, where are the bathrooms? Where's the like where would I get food? Like there's food there." Or you could just buy food on the way because the beach is only like 15 minutes away. You just go to Wendy's or something. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this stream has just gone from talking about elections to where I want to live in the future. But yeah, y'all, I've been thinking about it a lot because politics just takes a lot out of me, especially in this state. Mm. Yeah. Are there any elections or is there anybody who's running that you're kind of looking Like you've been following? I'm not necessarily saying looking forward to, but is there anybody that you just kind of been you've been following? Harrisburg? Where's Harrisburg? Let me look that up. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The state cap. Harrisburg is the state capital of Pennsylvania? I would have never guessed. A, I've never even heard of Harrisburg, and B, I could have sworn it was Philadelphia, or at least Pittsburgh. Why do states do this? They keep making capitals like these random ass cities. Damn, Harrisburg looks far as heck from anything. I'm looking at it on a map. It's next to Hershey, which I guess is something. It's along a river, which I mean, I can see why it was probably the capital because it was near a river. So they're like, "Oh my god, civilization." It's like, "Oh, we can build a settlement here next to the river so we can get fresh water." But Philadelphia, there's a river too. Oh, whatever. Like the capital of Florida is Tallahassee, and there's like really nothing in Tallahassee except the colleges and the capital. I think the capital of New York is Albany. Like it barely even shows up on the map unless you scroll, unless you like zoom in really hard. Like, but it is what it is. But what is in Harrisburg? Chad, what do you mean Harrisburg is still a thing? In the meantime, I'm gonna try to think of like candidates that I'm, kind of looking forward to. I don't know. There's no one really, but are there any elected officials that you guys are kind of excited about and kind of looking forward to like where that's going to go? The state politics? What do you mean? So, oh, Philly and Pittsburgh, right? I mean, that's how it always is. Like literally, like I really don't think there's a solid state. I really don't think there's a state that's just solid blue in most counties, in most cities. Like every state is the same. Like I think even like in Massachusetts, like yeah, of course, like in Massachusetts, like in Connecticut, West versus East Pennsylvania. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like it's like North versus South Florida, my guy. I get it. Like why our states haven't split is beyond me. Like they should just totally split. Ooh. I feel like your state is at least like shifting blue though, because you all got both blue senators. Like, and y'all got a Democratic governor as well, right? Like, I don't know if Florida will ever see that unless Florida gets out of its, at least the Florida Dems kind of get out of their own ass. I feel like they're kind of starting to because like they elected a Democratic mayor in Jacksonville because they picked the right candidate. Yeah. Like, they picked the right candidate, and I think her name was like Donna Deegan. She was like a news reporter, I think, in Jacksonville for like decades, for like a very long time. So she was like a well-known name, and I think Jacksonville's mayor have been like Republican for a very long time, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, they came through. Like that's what we really got to do. Like it's possible. Like trust me. Like Florida is. It's not as red as you think. It's just more corrupt than it is red, and a lot of people are just very disengaged. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Yeah. No, I get you. I get you with having like the state split in half. I really do. Like, I would love it if like from pretty much Tampa down, they just made it its own state, just called it South Florida, then whatever is north of Tampa. I'm not sure, like Ocoee, I think. That's more like central Daytona. Is that where Daytona is? Yeah, just north. Just have it be North Florida. Sorry, Jacksonville. Y'all are just gonna have to be part of North Florida. I know they don't want to, but it's just weird. I'm excited for what is his name? I am terrible with names lately. He was like he became the first Gen Z congressperson. Uh, in so what's his name? Maxwell Frost. Yes. So he's from Central Florida, like the Orlando area. He's only 25, and he's a Democrat. He likes to play Yu-Gi-Oh apparently, which is pretty interesting. Like he played against like this really big Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber, and like it was like a cool interview, and he also played some Yu-Gi-Oh with him. So I was like, that's really cool. That's really cool. Um, I like that. Like, I think we definitely, of course, feel like we've been saying this since the dawn of time. We need some better candidates. I mean, we need some better and younger candidates, of course, like more just genuine candidates. So I'm glad that Maxwell Frost was able to run and win because that's very hard, especially that young. I don't know if and when he got like the Florida Democrats backing, but that's also a hard thing to do because I don't know, Florida Dems like to pick some whack people sometimes. But it seems like they're in some cases they're getting their act together. And you know who else is getting their act together? This man who I'm going to introduce onto the podcast, onto the live stream. He I don't even know what he runs on. It's whatever is past fumes because this man just keeps going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. Nothing can really stop him except maybe some bad internet signal. But who doesn't get bad internet signals sometimes? Um, but this guy, you know him, you love him. I'm gonna bring him on sooner than later so you guys get to enjoy him. It's Ron. Yeah.
Woo woo! Pow pow pow! Yes. Oh my gosh! Listen, not the
Oh,
Energizer Bunny
oh,
trying to steal your girl. That's crazy.
oh. But Ron just got here at Marvel Tamagos. OMG, Mr. Red.
Oh
Very
man!
awesome. And it tries a bunny.
That's. I'm telling you, that was hilarious. That's hilarious. No, man, it is so good. I've been fighting this thing to get on for like, I don't know, an hour, and I'm just now able to come on.
Yeah.
So hopefully things work out and pan out ish. I don't know. But yeah. Oh my goodness. L.
Yes.
Gil. Chad. Marmo.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Yes, the gang is somewhat here. We try. We
Yeah.
try.
I mean, I
We,
tried my
we
hardest, like
try.
holding on. I was like, man, like, it's like
I know.
I'm surprised you got on
No,
before
you was doing
Toby
your thing, L. I appreciate you more than what you will ever know.
though. Thank you.
More than what you ever know.
Oh, what'd you say? You're coming in and out.
Welcome. 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 Hold up.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah. Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. No, I was saying that I
It's starting to. Oh no. Oh no, your signal. Your signal. Oh man. Mm.
hold on. I'm gonna
Okay.
move one more time. I'm gonna move one more time. I'm gonna try to get closer. Ah, yep, I know. Okay, move that. Get that. Okay. So hopefully, by me moving a bit closer to the Wi-Fi, I should be good. Hopefully. Okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's better right
Is
now.
it better?
Hopefully it stays better.
Okay. Move a little bit more closer. Sorry, y'all. You know, modern day technology and also it's
I
good.
know.
Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Alrighty. So, yes, as to L's point, like, yes, I agree with you. We do need a lot, running. We need more people with fresher ideas running. And just overall, a lot of these people in office need to retire. They should have been retired like, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Like before we were born.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely agreed. Definitely agreed. And even then, you know, looking at some headline news, how do y'all feel? I don't know, Elle, if you talked to this or not, but how do you feel about Elon Musk entering into the race for president?
I don't think he can because he wasn't born in the country.
Well, according to what news article was I reading before I jumped on? According to a news article, both him and Ron DeSantis, they well, of course we know DeSantis he's running, but the article was saying that I was reading, saying that Elon he's trying to do it.
I mean, I know that he's introducing Ron DeSantis. Wow.
Oh my gosh!
He did mention that he liked DeSantis for whatever reason. I can't even. I don't know. I don't know. Musk is
Why?
the crazy thing is like I know that like if Musk is backing DeSantis, he's gonna get a lot of those like Pacific Northwest people, the PNW
Hmm.
people, where like their liberal logic makes no sense. But Like, I don't know. Like it's, but I don't know. I don't know how Elon's because I know that Elon has a massive following, but I don't know how massive it is anymore, especially with like the whole acquisition of Twitter. And like I think he's stepping down as
Mm,
CEO of Twitter. So yeah, like I don't really know. It's just absolutely disgusting and corrupt.
hmm
It Because it's like, like if Elon is backing DeSantis, the thing about Elon is like he's kind of in a way like the Joker, where he's just very unpredictable. Like
hmm
his most predictable trait is that he's unpredictable. So like he might back DeSantis and then like tweet something positive about Trump just because really none of this matters to him. None of this matters to him. Like, regardless of what happens, he's still gonna come out rich as hell.
True.
Like he doesn't
True.
really care. He only just gives off
True.
the impression that he does. But I don't know, cause like how he's unstable. He's unstable, not unpredictable. He's very predictable. Oh, so what do you think is gonna happen, Chad? Well, like, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. It's more so like instability rather than unpredictability. Like, I don't, yeah, I guess like there's if you really like follow his patterns closely, I guess you can see where he's going to be predictable. I
hmm
I wouldn't be surprised though if he's like, because like he definitely like back DeSantis, but also just like try to say positive things about Trump because I feel like he would just like to see the chaos. Like I could see him doing that. I could see him doing that.
hmm Like, um, oh yeah, like the Joker off the Dark Knight, Heath Ledger's Joker, where he robbed everybody and
Ron, you got like you came out. Yeah. um Ron, oh geez. Hopefully me saying Ron isn't, yeah, like you were going in and out. Like you were out for probably like a good like 10-15 seconds.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was saying before I got really interrupted by service, I was saying Heath Ledger's Joker is probably like a good example of Elon Musk because in the Dark Knight,
Oh. Oh, he's gone into the dark like the Dark Knight. But do you know who's just emerged from the dark? Our very own knight in shining armor, Toby.
Oh snap! That hold on one second. I mean,
Oh,
I'm not
jeez.
like I'm not in a bad like I was like half naked or something, but I was like, okay, there's about to be a whole poetic thing being waxed.
Uh,
About to get ready, but I think it's just because
oh no, Toby, it is damn near 11 o'clock. We don't have time. I'm sorry. I love you, man, but it's like, no, we gotta.
we gotta run.
Like,
And Ron, unfortunately, as quick as he showed up, he pieced out. Well, his
yeah.
computer pieced out for him.
Let's see if I can bring him on. Because he looks like he has all
you know
green.
what? Yes. For how long? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Ain't nobody got time
I
for
know,
that.
Rocky. I know. I caught that with L. I'm like, jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm
You've been holding this down for a good hour plus, so I'm eternally grateful to you. It's late in the game. What?
so it's late in the game.
Listen, can you imagine? I did just drive from somewhere. I mean, my pants were unzipped at some point at that place, but
Oh shit.
Wow.
it wasn't. Sorry, that it wasn't like. Oh my god, can you imagine if I was like coming late because of a booty call? No, this was because of a networking event, actual networking, not an innuendo. So,
Right. Nice cleanup, sir. Nice
mm,
cleanup on aisle 3.
no, I just had to. I'm dead. We're all humans, and we we have to we have to go. So stop by.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what you mean. Okay.
yeah. No, literally, it was just I went to the bathroom before I headed on the road. But I have awkwardly sometimes forgotten to yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
But that didn't happen this time because I checked
Mm.
because Chad made the comment. I was like, wait a second. I was like, nope, not this time.
Yeah.
Not this time.
But don't worry,
Wasn't
we
caught
can't.
with my pants. Wasn't caught with my pants down. Pun fully intended.
Mm.
Nah.
I'm dead. Yeah, I know. Like, obviously, I mean, I was basically been playing chat roulette again, pun intended, in terms of taking questions and interacting with the chat. But my very quick thing is just that I was at a nice little networking event. Actually, I feel like it's very pertinent. Maybe not to this topic, but to definitely things we've talked about. It was about mental health awareness for
Okay.
STEM professionals, especially Black STEM professionals.
Mm.
Which really can be all corporate. It could be any type of working environment and how to sort of manage, well, expect it to be excellent. So it was my first event with them, the NESB, the Black Engineers for the DC chapter. So it was my first event with them. And I was like, oh my God, they do these events during the week. And maybe, I don't hope it's not always on Tuesdays, but they mentioned that most of their events are during the week except a Friday that they're doing in the future. So I was like, y'all better not do this on Tuesdays all the time. Because I've been able to go like the last 4 years without really seriously having Tuesday events. Besides like a birthday dinner once last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time that I was going to California. That was a hot mess. But that was fun, but it was like I really should not have been there. But any case, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. I know, Ron, you were saying a few things, but your internet was mostly knocking you out, so you didn't get to
Mhm.
have your say. But I was trying to catch most of
Okay.
the combo in general from listening while I was driving, and I'll table the Philly conversation and the city conversation for another day. But I definitely have some thoughts. Pun not intended, because
Right.
I don't actually have thoughts. I'm a very wholesome man.
Okay.
That just sounded worse.
I know.
That just sounded worse, Toby.
To sound worse. I feel like I had to say that for Gil's benefit because everyone on here thinks that I'm like this Casanova. But
Who?
TMC org have a good stream. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how
No,
to
that's
block
a bot.
people. Yeah.
That's on Twitch. Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, as I'm getting logged, I was going to say this much. To the Heath Ledger, connecting the dots with Elon Musk, I was saying Heath Ledger's Joker was basically in the Dark Knight, how he just wanted anarchy. Didn't really care for the money and everything else. He just wanted total, pure chaos. And to L's point, and also to Chad's point, I feel as though in 2024, that's pretty much Elon Musk is going to do. He's going to be that rogue chaos agent who just stirs the pot for no apparent reason and watch it all burst in flames. and see where it goes from there. I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
I mean,
I can see that
just
happening.
yeah, just like look at what he did with Twitter. Um, he bought it for way over the price, like ridiculously over, and just just screwed it up for really just no reason. Like I find it. This will probably be like a topic for like another day, but it's a bit pertinent. Like there's a lot of
Mhm.
people. There's a lot of people who really just hated the blue check mark people. You know, like the celebrities, influencers, politicians, businesses. You know, like y'all knew who the blue check mark people were. Like also like journalism writers for like certain places.
Mhm.
Like I had a friend who had a blue check mark because she used to work. She used to write for like Slate. Um, um, and for whatever reason, like a lot of people like just hated like the blue check mark people, but I guess they hated them because they were jealous. If you think about it,
Mhm.
because a lot of those people are now buying the blue check mark. I see like one or
Yeah.
two Like I see like one or two benefits of the blue, because like Elon Musk was like always like making fun of and like shitting on I guess like the blue check mark people, and then he like is like, oh, I'm gonna wipe it all away, and then I'm gonna create it so you have to pay for it. Which I always say like
Mhm.
it kind of reminded me of those people who go on Call of Duty for the first time and then like they buy all the guns and the maps and the upgrades and everything, all the
Mhm.
downloadable content and all that. And then like now they're just super strong and amazing at the game. And it's like, well, you didn't really do anything for this. You just had money. Like that's not the same thing. Like I won't lie. Like of course, like I mean I would have liked to have gotten like I would have liked to have been important enough to have a blue check mark.
Right.
And so like to just buy it just doesn't seem the same. Also, like I don't feel comfortable putting like my card information on a site that is like not stable. So because they just like fired a whole bunch of people.
Mhm.
Like I was like, you want me to like buy something right now? That makes no sense. But, but to each their own. I do see like one or
Agreed.
two. Yeah, like I do see one or two benefits of it, and I see why. But real quick, it's like these people who like love Elon and will just like follow him to like the ends of the earth and whatever. It's like, they're gonna like follow and support DeSantis because Elon did that, and it's like, I don't know. It's like, I guess they sort of see Elon as like how a lot of people see influencers. It's like, oh, I'm gonna like buy their merch and things like that to get kind of closer to them, even though I don't really know them. And
Mhm.
it's like you don't really have like a personal connection with Elon, at least like like I would like so it's just weird like this fanaticism and like we're getting to that level in politics, and that's very worrisome. I guess that's just where I'm trying to go with it. Yeah,
No, I hear you.
I mean Rocky puts it succinctly. Yeah, like is this like, oh, your king likes this guy, you're gonna just vote and for this guy and not question anything? And it's weird. I was thinking about this earlier, how it seems like celebrities don't really have as much like pull in politics as they used to. Like they still kind of do, but not as
Mhm.
much. Because like if you think about it, like Hillary Clinton should have won. Um, Andrew Gillum of Florida back in 2018 should have won, and that just wasn't the case. I mean, of course, Gillum almost won. That's another story. But like, so it's not like the regular celebrities, like, like actors and actresses and musicians or whatever. They don't really have that kind of like traction or pull as much anymore. It seems more so like I think you have to get into like the fanatic space, and like that's what I'm afraid of. Like that's like what's getting kind of scary. I still don't think it's like enough, because like I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's I don't know. SA politics is nuts. The resentment from how Zuma and the ANC did the country dirty has made some reactionary transplants.
This
What do
is
you?
South Africa.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm not either. Because I just saw like South America politics, but then he's a country, so I was like, okay, what country is SA?
Yeah, I
South.
was figuring it was like South Africa. Yeah, South Africa politics was nuts. The resentment from how Zuma and the ANC did the country dirty has made some reactionary transplants.
Well, it's semi-important, but I just got here, so actually, give me one quick second.
Yeah, Ron.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Okay, I was saying, I'm guessing South African politics are nuts.
Because Elon is South African. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what he said. The resentment from how Zuma and the ANC that the country dirty has made some reactionary transplants. I am not familiar. What does Zuma and ANC do?
Yeah, Chad, if you can't elaborate for us, please kindly.
Yes, please. 'Cause I am curious.
Right. I
ANC.
know. Um,
Oh, the man's name is Zuma. Okay. The ANC won the national election on 22nd of April in 2009 by a slightly diminished majority of 65%. That's kind of a pretty good majority. But that's a slightly diminished majority. I'm just like looking over Jacob Zuma of South Africa. First corrupt indictment, rape trial, shit. Defamation lawsuits, election as ANC president, second corrupt indictment. Yeah, this is a long page. This is a long page. Yeah. He had several wives and children. I don't know.
oh, good grief.
Okay, African National Congress. Zuma was previously a major corruption. ANC had a lock. It's basically a one-party state. Ooh, damn.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
I mean, that's what the Republicans are trying to do here. Like I think there was something trying to get passed or somewhat in Florida about essentially like in a way taking away the Democratic Party, or just kind of making it illegal to be a Democrat. Not illegal, but like you can't be a Democrat. They were trying to pass something like that. It was something ridiculous.
Man, that reminds. I was gonna say that reminds me a lot like what happened in the 1850s. You know, when down south they were considered Democrats and the folks up north were considered Republicans, and they wanted things to go their way that didn't make sense. It's like, but why? Your logic and your reasoning is trash, is dumb, and it's fundamentally flawed. But then again, The Republican Party now is basically just like that. They're nonsense. The logic is flawed, and it's like, why in the world should people vote for you other than because you have a because you're conservative? Like, come on. A lot of stuff
Hmm.
you're talking about is trash.
Yeah.
This is true, Rocky. You make a very valid point. This is very much true. Very much true.
You don't have just as much. In the States, both parties work for the same people. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, when like when it's hard to like, we can't really like both sides, both parties, because it is still like vastly different. Like,
True.
yeah.
But to go ahead, Al.
Oh no, go on.
I would say true, but to Rocky's point, the thing that he was mentioning was something that George Washington, when he was president, even before he became president, the one thing he warned was the simple fact of the matter of the country should have been not been locked in a duopoly as it is now, but more so having more than one choice, meaning having more than one political party. Because even if you couldn't side with one group or another, then there was another group that you could truly free choose from, vote for, and not blink of an eye.
Hmm.
Because during his time, what he was talking about was the simple fact that with a two-party system, it's basically going to force you to choose one or the other and not necessarily, you know, live a life that's truly free, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Hmm.
And so it's like with this two-party system, and again, I'm thankful Rocky has brought this up because that's basically it. You bicker, you argue over nothing, but you want people to vote for you, but you don't have any kind of meaning solutions to real world problems that's going to help. But yeah,
Hmm.
you tell us every election cycle, every election year, hey, vote for me for what? When you haven't done nothing for the last past 8 years. We haven't done nothing for the last past 2 decades you've been in office. So you want me to vote for you. And then you got other people who just say, yeah, I'll vote for you just because you've been in the seat and blah, blah, blah. Even though you haven't done nothing for my community, nothing for my city, I'm voting for you because of name and name only. It's like, well, that sucks. Like,
True.
no,
Yeah.
that sucks. And so I'm actually glad that I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm actually glad that Andrew Yang is actually moving ahead and creating this forward party and actually have it not like the Tea Party and some other parties that are there because of a name, but not necessarily have any kind of like action behind them, where the solutions that they have are proven to help. And so the thinking is, let's do it.
Hmm.
Mhm. True, but at the same time, it's like you still have more of a choice. You still have more of a choice, and it's like if I don't identify as a Republican, but I also don't identify as a Democrat. But at the same time, again, the independents and the moderates, they're not really doing a whole lot. The Green Party is just God knows what. You know, I would like to have a viable party with some viable candidates that I don't mind backing because they identify with a lot of my ideals, a lot of my standards that I want to have or see in office, and give them a shot because for the last past, I don't know, since I've been 18 and been voting, it's like, yeah, voting for the same group of people is kind of getting old. It's getting boring. And still not seeing a lot of the expected results from the same pool of candidates is tiring. It is very tiring. And it's so like, in one aspect, it's like, why vote? But then again, the other aspects as well, because it's better than not voting. Because if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. You don't have a right to moan and groan. You could have voted to change the difference, or at least make your voice heard. Something other than just saying, well, I'm not going to vote. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just right now, I do believe that as more.
I mean, this always happens. Hopefully, he'll be back on soon. Mm. All right.
Okay.
Equality between the different administrations. I know that voting is mandatory in Australia. Like, and
Mhm.
it's one of those things where it's just I'm not mad at it. I'm really not.
Right.
It's like because I see why it is. Um, like I know, I definitely
Mhm.
see why it is. Like it, because like when you think about it, it forces you to be engaged in politics. You know, like
Yes.
even if it's like the
Yes.
smallest amount, like it's like okay, I have to be engaged. Like I have to choose what is going on in my city, my I don't know what the sections are called in Australia, but like
Mhm.
districts, prefectures. I don't know. I know that's Japan is the prefecture, but in my country, like you have to know, like you don't have a choice,
Yes.
and it,
Agreed.
and like that, and like
Agreed.
yeah, and like that's important, but like I wouldn't be mad at it either. Like I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. 'Cause
True.
if you think about it, like if I had to pay taxes, then best believe y'all can't stop me from voting. Right, exactly. Like,
Facts. Facts.
and if you think about it, like if everybody had to be involved in politics to an extent, like if you have to, like everybody has to do taxes, right? Like exactly what Rocky said. If we all have to do taxes, like if we all had to vote, like that would be something that we all talk about.
Mhm.
That'll be a reason for people to like engage and that's something that everyone will have in common to talk about. Because taxes
Mhm.
is just like one thing, unless you own a business or multiple businesses, then you can kind of talk about I'm talking about in terms of creating community and friendships and relationships and that sort of dynamic. Um, unless you are a business owner or own multiple businesses or a freelancer or things like that, or you have multiple jobs, you don't really have like a bunch of people to talk about like taxes with, really. But if we had
Mm,
to talk about politics, like, that's like when you're at a university, you can always ask somebody at parties like, "Oh, what's your major?" Like that's always something that you can talk about, engage, and like learn from other people and see like other people's point of views,
mhm,
and pick their brain about things and things like that. That's always a
mhm,
conversation. That's always a way to at least create some kind of community, because believe it or not, a lot of people are in politics due to the community, not necessarily um it's like the friendships that they made at the Trump rallies and things like that. Even at like the Yang Gang rallies and things like that. It's We don't
mhm.
like to admit it, but a lot of that is because of community. Somebody compared
Right.
like Trump rallies to like it's like their gay pride parade almost, like, which I thought was like
Wow.
it's like their sense of community, like, oh, like these people are like me. It's like going to like a comic book or like an anime convention. Like these people are like me. They have the same interests. So like, yeah, of course we're going, they're going to be near each other. So like if we all had to
Mhm,
vote, um, and actually pay attention to like the politics and see like the different kinds of people, I feel like if we're forced to do that, I feel like there would be like less division because like it's something that we all have to do. And like,
mhm,
in this country it might get very bad, like,
mhm,
unfortunately. Like I feel like it probably could, I feel like it could probably get very corrupt and very bad, unfortunately. But also I think there's the positive aspect of it, that it might it'll get more people engaged in politics. It might make
mhm,
people run because everybody knows about
mhm,
politics. Everybody has to vote in these elections. Everybody knows when an election is coming up. Like I told you
mhm.
about the time when we are voting for governor, like polls closed at like 7 p.m. on Tuesday, I think, or something like that. Or 7 or 8, I don't know. And then my brother calls me at
Mm.
like 7:30. He was like, "Who should I vote for?" I was like, "Well, no one now. Like you can't vote right now." So, like that wouldn't have been happening, because if that happened and he didn't vote, then he would have gotten arrested. Like, or I don't know what would have
Right.
happened. Probably like hit with like a massive fine or something. I'd do like community service for like a year.
That's crazy for not
Yeah.
voting. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what happens in Australia. I just know that it's mandatory to vote. Like you have to. I don't know what happens if you don't.
Hmm.
But like what
I
Rocky was
get thrown in a cave full of spiders.
saying. But I don't know. It's like,
Hmm.
what did Rocky say?
Yep.
What am I
Nope.
doing?
I'm straight. I'm going to vote.
Those who can and can't vote, how easy it is to vote. Why would anyone want to influence you?
That is true.
Exactly. Exactly. That's like the biggest thing. That's definitely the biggest thing. Stare the pot, stare the pot.
Yes,
Talk
Chad.
about politics. I don't know if that would build a lot of friendships. It would, because it's
Mm.
building friendships now. Talking about politics builds friendships now. Like that's how we all met each other, was
Oh,
through Yang, was through politics. We
facts.
route, yeah. I see us all as shareholders in the country. It's time we start demanding answers from our CEOs that are. Hmm. Yeah, I guess so. That's honestly a better way of handling it, because it's not like shareholders are constantly talking to the CEOs all the time. If we were better people, yeah, that would be nice. Um, the most basic form of tribalism, us versus them. Yep. Divide and conquer. Very easy. Yes. And where is my bread and circus? What? I don't know this. Where's my bread and circus?
Mm. I don't know. Probably still with Wrigley Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. Probably still with them. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe the Three Ring Circus. I don't know. But um,
Oof. Sorry, I
but
just
the
can't.
one thing, oh, you're good. The one thing that came to mind was I know here in Three Rivers, a lot of the kids, especially like in the middle school, high school level, a lot of them are very much politically involved, and a lot of them do canvas. A lot
Good.
of them do a lot of things that helps them get a better understanding of why we should pay attention to politics more and why we should be getting involved more so at a local level and then building up. I know just in the past, especially networking, working with candidates like Amy East and a few others, trying to get them in the community network, getting making sure they talk to the right people, and just getting that awareness has helped a lot. And watching how their campaigns were ran, being a part of their campaigns, understanding, giving them critiques, and this, that, and the third. It was like, man, that was fun. It was engaging. It was informative, and it was needed. You know, and even though she didn't win, but the simple fact of the matter that she still made a huge splash in a very conservative field and a very conservative district, it still felt good to know that people were still listening and people were still wanting to see something different versus the status quo. And, and even then, we still talk off and on, and we still talk about the campaign and things of that nature. But the one thing that I pretty much tell everybody during this time is to
Well, something is to dang, and else stepped away. Well, I guess it's me. um, I had to take a very important call dealing with a very important situation involving moving, but politics, man. Um, I don't know if we got this deep into RFK. Well, you're on your background, so I'll let you continue. I was just gonna say I don't know if we got deep into the whole RFK Jr. and the Democratic side of things. The Republican side,
right. No,
Republican side is going to be a whole thing. Like watch party. Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Like I feel like I'm going to watch the Republican debates as hard as I watch the Democratic debates, except this time instead of
hmm
or Yang like we did before, it'll just be like I just want to see what happens. I want to see how like they kind of outright each other. But also
hmm
maybe there'll be a Yang type candidate who also is a little bit different. I don't know about the Vivek Ramaswamy guy because he much more has gone full in on the culture war um, and wokeism. But some people have compared him as the Yang of the right. Um, but Yang was much more like
yeah,
technocratic.
no,
Yang was much more technocratic. Like, yeah, he had his liberal issues. He talked about gun control and stuff, but he really staked out a whole different issue that no one was talking about with the automation and UBI. But Ramaswamy just talks about, I mean, even though he is an entrepreneur and the tech stuff, it's not like he's talking about that. In fact, Yang had an article where he gave advice to Ramaswamy how he can actually succeed if he wants to actually like beat Trump, which is kind of funny because I was like, you guys aren't even really like that much aligned. But he made a little article maybe a week ago, and he was like, in case it doesn't work out, you can come join me at Forward. But again, I don't know if he really has that like third party populist appeal outside of like corporations are bad for being woke, which is kind of like what everyone else is saying anyway in the Republican Party. So Not everyone. I mean, some
Mhm.
people definitely are a little more traditional, like Tim Scott, but I don't know. I don't know if Vivek is gonna break out. I mean, Yang obviously didn't get the numbers he needed, but he got a lot of fundraising. He got a lot of support. So I'll just be interested to see what
True.
happens on the Republican side, just as a kind of curious outsider. Excuse me. And Lord knows what third party, no labels type of nonsense might be happening in the general election if people really decide to just go full spoiler. I mean, I shouldn't say that as someone who generally likes the idea of third parties being viable, but running a unity ticket in the general election is not going to do much, but probably elect Trump, probably. But anyway, I've said enough.
I don't know. I will push back. I will push back against that because I mean, I will push back because I mean, you look at our very own Dr. Jermaine Johnson. One of the few people who was under Andrew Yang who actually wanted a seat. One of the very few. And even still, then it was like, okay, we know it's possible. We know it's possible. And it even still knowing that it's possible and understanding that, yes, there's a bunch of dynamics that go into play. And yes, there's a lot of fundraising that needs to be done. A lot of money has to be spent, has to be made. A lot of conversations, especially those very uncomfortable conversations, need to be had. But also at the same time, to be able to put a candidate that is very much different from what we currently have and put them in the spotlight to be able for in order for them to get that success and just run a very clean slated campaign. I think it's very possible, and even still with a viable third party that can actually give people the results that they're needing, I think it's very possible, very much possible. And again, with a lot of the states that are starting like their forward, let's say like forward Nevada, I don't know if it's a real forward Nevada or not, but just to give an example, if they're able to again get good solid candidates who can run in these highly contested Republican slash Democratic, yeah, I mean, Chad, go for it.
I'll
Chad,
donate to
go
you,
for
Chad.
it. Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
wear a
actually
t-shirt
I would
and a
actually
hat.
have to send a donation. Literally, I would have to donate if this happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But even yeah, it's still like I was saying before, and I'll end. You know, you look at Nevada, who surprisingly went blue this previous election cycle. It's like, okay, that's kind of a good sign and a good signal. So let's get some. Again, Julia, you're right along with Chad's point. Right along with his point. Again, you get a good, solid candidate who is able to reach both Republicans and Democrats in a way, and even independents and some other people, and get them involved in such a way where it's like, okay, we don't have to um, go with the traditional mess that we currently have. Go for somebody that's younger, go for somebody that has fresher ideas, and let's see what happens, and actually start to point the needle way from the other two, and just go for it, and see what happens. And see what happens. That's my 2 cents thrown into the pot.
To your rhetorical question. No, I mean, see what happens. That's moral of the story, it seems. Yeah, I don't even know. I only have blue trends. We're all millionaires in DC. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man, it's a different life when you're really in like well off areas. I mean, everyone just gets richer. I mean, even the people who were relatively poor go to Congress and then they get rich. I mean, sometimes it's not even through like corruption or anything explicitly, excuse me, immoral, but there's just something that happens when you have these type of connections and you get into certain positions of power. And it can be easy to lose touch. I'm not saying they all do, but that's inherently the problem, is that feedback loop, not necessarily like if you don't feel the urgency and the pain. I mean, that's why you have constituents, that's why you have town halls, I guess. You have people who could vote you out, I don't know, but sometimes it's not even just like that. You have other issues in politics and things that could put you at jeopardy, or that other things that you're chasing after to stay safe instead of really like taking care of your constituents. um and so yeah, people get richer while other people suffer. And it seems like it doesn't matter who's in power. I mean, there are real differences, of course, with certain things like food stamp benefits getting cut and other stuff. But even like, I think I remember hearing something about even under the Obama administration, there was some austerity practices, not like outright cuts, the way that like you kind of see it much more dramatically with Republican administrations, but there was definitely more of a moderation. And so certain things will kind of suffer anyway. Um, Regardless of administration. And then, of course, you also have the other branch, the legislative, both state level and Congress. So I understand that's also a problem, even if you have a well-meaning president. I mean, look, North Carolina, oh my God. I always thought North Carolina was much more swingy, but they just got a super majority. Because there was actually Nita Alam. She was the first Muslim county commissioner, I think, of Durham County, which would be where Durham, Duke, um, not Charlotte, that's more west, but some other states, Chapel Hill, and Raleigh, of course. Raleigh's the capital, I believe. So that area. So Nita Lam, she ran like a progressive race, lost her primary in the 2022 election. But I kind of got text updates because she has another organization. So I see things that happen in North Carolina. They had like one supermajority, like one seat away from a supermajority. Of course, one Democrat woman switched her party to Republican, and then the Republican legislature passed the bill. I mean, it's not as drastic as the 6-week ban that Florida just had, but it was still like 12, maybe. It was something shorter than the previous, and so that's gone. And now the budget that they're trying to work on is like supposed to cut a lot of funding of. I mean, it's supposed to raise teachers' wages, but it's going to cut funding for public schools in general. And so the governor declared a state of emergency. And I'm like, oh, holy crap. I mean, it's definitely more of a political move, but he declared a state of emergency saying like, right now our schools are under threat and like we have a serious problem. And he's going to, I guess, hold public events across the state. But like even some Democrats decided, like 7 Democrats, I think, sided with the Republicans to like push forward the budget bill. So it seems like even if you have well-meaning leaders in terms of the executives, you have things on the legislative level where, it seems like it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know what interest they're like responding to. Maybe there's other things that they feel like will be helpful, right? Like there is funding for charter schools and they feel like maybe that's a good option for people, but then the public schools can get screwed. And I'm not anti-charter school. In fact, here in DC, like literally the event I just came from in Arlington, Virginia, which is where the DC airport is actually. And literally like right there, you can see the Washington Monument. So that area, or I should say DC proper even, has a lot of charter schools. And I mean, the event I came from was a bunch of Black engineers, people who care very much about diversity, equity, inclusion. And I mean, some of them work in charter schools. So I'm not anti-charter school, but not at the expense of like screwing over the money and the funding. I don't know. I think that's an interesting topic. I would love, like, when we talk more about education for a month, to get into some of that, because there is actually a lot of nuance, I think, and interesting things. But public school should matter and it should still be important. For sure, because not everyone is going to have the chance to go to a nice private or charter school, even with the vouchers, right? Someone's going to fall through the cracks. So,
right.
Triggered about is this about the charter schools? About the public charter schools? Again, I'm so disconnected from the school system because once I graduated, peace. I know some teachers, and my mom is a teacher, ironically, but I never learned as much through her in terms of the mechanics of some of these things.
It sucks.
But anyways, politicians gonna do what they do, and hopefully they'll do less of that and more of something different. Cut my food, but that's about it for me.
All right, Julia. I'm
And
waving goodbye to you invisibly,
And that's also
but
a cue.
Yeah.
yes,
It is.
it
It is
is.
getting late.
Yes. Okay. Bye. I love it.
Wait, also, Rocket, you said that a guy who nobody never knew took an idea in 4 years from most people never heard of it to now most people have an opinion on it. Is that referring to Yang and Basic Income, or is this referring to like? I think like oddly, I wasn't matching the conversation with what you said. But that aside, we absolutely are gonna be out soon. Next week.
Oh, okay, bye.
Yes.
Actually, okay, yeah. Now I see it.
I think it's the You Want to Build a
Oh,
Snowman
wait.
song, I think.
Oh wait, Anna. Yeah, I got you. Rob.
Do you want to build a railway
Hey.
around America? We can go to the East Coast and
Hey.
West Coast in a matter of time.
Hey.
We could build other stuff in Rail America in just the way you are. No.
You want to
Okay.
build
You want to build a railroad? Okay, bye. Let it go.
Yes.
the sequel. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Just let's go.
Yeah, not America.
I'm not, well, there we go.
It's not your real
I love it. Yes. Yes.
This ain't your grandfather's real track. Might as well, honestly. He's done dang there, done everything else.
What you going to?
I don't know about all of that now. I think the way how my pocketbooks are set up, no. No. I'll be coming to a stream near you, but that's about it. That's about as close of a tour you're gonna get. That's about it. But it's getting close to that time where we all have to go and part ways. Shout out to Elle for holding down the fort
Yes.
as long as you did. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody who came in and spoke and hung out with Elle and all that other good stuff. We appreciate y'all as well.
Thank you so much.
Any final words? Oh, you're welcome.
I don't know. Just join us. Join us next week. I always forget to put on this thing, so
Oh yeah.
thank you for watching and catch us next week. Next week is actually a really special episode. It's going to be our 3-year anniversary. So
Woo!
yeah, so
Woo, 3 years.
Yes, 3 years.
3 years. 3 years. Talk about it in the Discord. Let's chat.
Yes.
Let's chat.
Here's the pillow.
I'm dead.
Yes. Yes.
I guess
Yes, she is. I'm gonna say yes, she is.
Nothing but a word. And it's giving
Trying to
Megan
tell
Thee
folks.
Stallion. The pillar. But yes, thank you all. Of course, join us in the Discord. For all of our lurkers, looks like we have 10 viewers right now. So yeah, join the Discord. You can chat with us throughout the week. But yeah, definitely come on next week. Come join us next week. We'll be celebrating our 3-year anniversary. It'll just be a fun, chill stream. You know, think about, just some of the good times we've had. If you want to bring them up, share. If you want to come on, you guys are always welcome to come on and join us and hang out.
Yes.
But yeah, as always, we love y'all. Can't wait to see y'all next week. And yeah, please join us. But that said, we're signing off.
100 miles or messages.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Sound of music. Good night.